Welcome to Between the Covers, the show for readers and writers and lovers of books. I'm Stephanie Larkin. I'm a publisher and head penguin at Red Penguin Books. We're a publishing company that works with authors of all types and genres. So whether you have a manuscript all ready to go or maybe a book stuck in your head for the past, maybe 10 years or so, unleash your inner author and call Red Penguin Books. Just visit redpenguinbooks.com and we can get started. I'm so excited. We have two authors on the couch and one who is going to be coming in, long distance from Tennessee tonight. So please welcome our guests, Michael O'Keefe and Carol Honig. Thank you.
For having us.
And both repeat guests. I love that.
Yes.
I love when our guests just keep writing and writing and writing. So you have to keep
friends.
And friends
we
too.
know each other. Yes.
And it wasn't like you met on the couch.
No.
No, you met in real life.
Yes, we did.
How did you meet?
You probably came into the bookstore.
I did. I wanted to do a Long Island launch, basically, for Shot to Pieces, my
Right.
first novel, and someone had recommended me to you.
Oh, okay.
So I came in, showed you the book, we hit it off, and we actually had a very nice event.
you
A
had
lot
an
of
awesome
people.
I
event.
love
Yeah.
events
Yeah.
over there. Absolutely.
So it's great space, unfortunately.
I
Yeah.
know. Well,
Yeah.
Carol, I know that we can't have events at the bookstore anymore, but
no.
you are still running events.
Yes,
Can you
yes.
tell us a little bit
Yes.
about what you're doing?
My business partner and I started on the road book events. So
I
we're
love
doing off-sites. We have resale certificates so we can sell books at off-sites.
Okay.
And so right now we're in conversations with Joyce Carol Oates, publicist. So we're kind of excited about that. So we'll see if that happens.
Very
So,
cool.
yeah.
Well, congratulations on the
Thank
new
you.
business venture.
Yeah, no brick and mortar, but no big bills either.
You know, there's the good and the bad. I mean,
Yeah,
that your bookstore was, if I ever were to own a bookstore, when I walked into yours, I said that's exactly what it would look like.
Yeah, it was a
Thank
great
you.
space.
Absolutely a
Thank
great
you.
space, but I'm sure the bills mounted.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
So now you take the talent on the road.
Yes, exactly.
And Mike, we're here to talk about your short story book, but there's another book going to be imminent, so we're going to have to keep your space on the couch, warm for you, huh?
Yeah. Should be back by Christmas.
He's just going to keep writing those books,
He
man.
is,
He's
he
pumping
is.
them out.
I'm gonna look to do a book every 6 months now.
Good
Get
for
out
you.
of town.
So I'm gonna run 2 series alternate.
Wow.
I got Old Detectives from the 70s, which is what the next book's about. And then the next one would be a Patty Durr book. And the interesting thing about it is the characters actually intersect in each book.
Wow.
So
Every 6 months. Huh?
Patty appears in the next book, A Reckoning in Brooklyn, as a 17-year-old. And we get an idea of not just why he's banged up, but who put him on the path to be a cop.
Right,
So,
right. Very cool, very cool.
Giving James Patterson a run for his money.
I know, every 6 months. Well, that
Yeah.
rapid release model is kind of the thing lately.
Yeah.
But usually those people who are doing it have, teams
Yes.
behind them. Do you have a team, or am I looking at the team here?
I write, my wife listens, and if it's good, then I take it to an editor.
Okay.
So there you go.
Every 6 months. Well,
We'll see, yeah.
I will keep the
Well,
spot.
I
on the
have
couch.
I have a 3 manuscript backlog,
Do you really?
so I'm not pressed yet. But I'm going to start writing the next novel probably when the new book comes out. So.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, before we get to your books and all, what are you reading right now? Because we want to tell people what to read too.
I'm reading Necessary Lies by Diane Chamberlain, and I absolutely love it. It's going to be, I do a book discussion group in my home.
Okay.
And this was the book that we picked, or it was picked from a hat, because we draw names and whose book it is.
Okay.
And, you're always not sure. Loving it. Absolutely
Really?
loving it. Yeah.
Oh, that's good, because don't you hate when you have a book club book and you're not
yeah.
loving it?
That's happened several
Oh,
times.
yeah, no, you're like forcing yourself to read
Yeah.
that book for the book club meeting, especially if do you run the book club?
Basically, it's in my home, and we always have a food theme to match with the book. So whenever I come across some kind of food that's happening in the book, I write it down like, oh, cherry pie, cherry pie for this one. So yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
So definitely recommend.
I highly recommend it. Yeah,
All right,
definitely.
very good. Mike, do you have time to write?
Yeah, no,
read?
actually, I just finished a very big book.
Oh, that is book.
This is The Corporation. If you're not familiar with T.J. English,
Yes, I did.
he is Well, we become good friends. I actually
Really?
did his podcast.
Okay.
He's a big fan of Patty Durr. I've been reading him since he wrote The Westies. In my opinion, humble opinion, he is the best true crime writer that we have. And I just finished this, and if you're into the Cuban Mafia from the 80s, this book is an encyclopedic documenting of
Really?
that whole rise and fall. So I recommend it
Fantastic.
highly also.
Good stuff. I love that you have time. See, you know what I read? Your books, folks. That's what I read. Your books. And when I go on vacation, I read trash because I've been
Really?
reading, fabulous literature the rest of the year. So then I read absolute garbage when I'm on vacation.
Just something to decompress,
Something
right?
completely mindless.
Yep.
I'll go over to my Kindle and just, pick garbage and have it download.
That's so funny.
I know. I just can't be dealing with, anything
Yeah.
good because I'm committed to reading every single person who's on the couch. I love
Oh,
that.
that's too funny.
But it's my pleasure. Absolute my pleasure. Well, we're going to take a break and we'll be back with Rachel Rollins from Tennessee. Thanks for being with us.
Writing a book is the adventure of a lifetime. Red Penguin Books take pride in giving our authors a publishing experience that is stress-free and celebratory all the way. Some of our authors first approach us with no more than an idea for a book that's ready to sprout. Others submit completed manuscripts. Whether you're at either end or anywhere in between, our goal is to get you published. At Red Penguin Books, we offer options and opportunities that are unique in the world of publishing, and all of them are designed to keep you, the author we so deeply respect, in the driver's seat, unlike other publishing houses. So, if you want to write a book and are looking for a publisher, we've got you covered. Red Penguin Books deal in publishing services, book development, and ghostwriting for digital, print, and audiobook. Call us at 516-448-4993 or visit our website, www.redpenguinbooks.com.
That's right, keep it going. That's right, keep it going. That's right, keep it going. That's right, keep it going.
Twilly dilly dee, twilly dilly dee, twilly dilly dee, twilly dilly dee, tweet, 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 tweet.
She talks to the people all night long, chatting and a-gabbing and a-singing her song. All the divas down on Rainbow Street love to hear Tony go tweet, tweet, tweet. Talking Tony,
Tweet, tweet,
talk, talking Tony.
tweet, twilly dee.
Oh, talking Tony really gonna talk tonight.
Okay.
Welcome back to Between the Covers. Thanks for joining us. I am so excited to welcome to our show Rachel Rollins, the author of Ink It Over. Rachel, are you there?
I am. How are you, Stephanie?
Great. How are you doing?
Doing well. I'm so glad we were finally able to make this work.
Absolutely. It's, technology is never easy, is it?
No, life in general, right? It's
Well, this is
it was
true.
crazy
And
the
you had a
first
big
time
move
with
in the middle
stranded on
of
the highway, and then technology. It's but we got it going.
But we got it
tonight.
going, and you're all settled into the new place and all now?
We're not the next new place.
Oh,
So
there's
still
another new
the
place. There's always
first
another
new
one, huh?
place.
Well, thank you so much for sending a copy of Ink It Over. This was amazing. Can you give us a little short synopsis for our audience, and then let's chat?
So Adelaide Severance is a witch with a unique ability to ward or protect people with tattoo ink.
Very cool. I loved that. So she tattoos people, and it gives some sort of almost like a blockage, right, to evil spirits?
It can, and then it can also. There's a little bit of people, dual-natured witches. One side is might be more dominant than the other, and they may want a binding, which is something else that she can do.
Right, right. I love reading books that terms like kitchen witch become just naturally flowing right in the text there.
Yeah.
Now, what inspired this book in general, and what inspires you to write?
Gosh, what did inspire this one?
Do you love tattoos?
Probably too much time spent on stock image sites, and then there was this really great. Actually, it's what I ended up submitting to the cover artist for the cover, but she was just really striking, and I had no need for that image at the time, and then just the idea kind of sparked from that.
So you actually found the cover image before you had the concept of the book?
Yeah, I did.
Wow, you are the first person
Yeah.
I've ever had who said that. So you found this amazing picture, and the cover is beautiful.
Thank you.
Of this woman with the tattoos, and that inspired this, paranormal kind of book about a tattoo artist with special powers.
Yes.
Wow,
That's
when
pretty
you're
much
on those
exactly how it
stock
went.
photo sites, you're really looking. I'm impressed.
Well, it turned out to be time well spent. Sometimes that's a rabbit hole, and then
Wow, I
You get
don't think
hours
I've
lost.
ever heard of someone doing that. That's amazing. What else have you found on those sites? I'm wondering what's next. Is there, a bunny with a baseball cap, or like?
Yeah, I know. So that's what I mean. It's like, sometimes it's a complete loss and a time suck, and you'll never get those hours back. This actually turned out to be pretty good because I'm not, in all honesty, very good at finding the images. So it takes me a really long time. So
You
I'm glad
decided to put that
the story
first.
actually came out of this for a change.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I do not write fiction, and I've often said, and my guests here have heard me say that I am dying to write fiction. And now I'm thinking that's what I should do. I should troll stock photo sites, find the cover first, and get inspired.
Yeah. You never know. There's also this really great group, the Ruby Slipper Sisterhood, and it has some New York Times, USA bestsellers that have kind of put this group together to help other writers of all levels. But they do something periodically with a writing prompt. And so Dorinda Jones actually just did one, and I did it the other day just on a whim. And then they just put an image, and they said, write, it might have been 50 or 75 word story to go, that the image inspired. And then I ended up now having something else to put on the to be written pile because I needed more of that. But I was like, wow. So, just those images sometimes are really great prompts to come up with something to write.
I love that. I love the whole idea of looking at a picture and writing a story to match.
Yes.
I think that's just fabulous. What's next on your docket? Do you have another book already planned, or are you still riding on the coattails here?
Yeah, it's always on. Well, I'm a pantser by trade, so I'm on the road to recovery to being a plotter, but a pantser nonetheless. So right now I'm wrapping up the second book for the Touch of Ink series, and that one will come out in January. And then after that, I'll be working on something for a super secret anthology project. Can't talk about that yet. But that story is in the works. So got a couple of things in the pipeline right now.
Wow. Now that you just said the second book in the series, I didn't realize there was a series. Now that you said it, I realize it says A Touch of Ink Book 1. So there's more to come. Fantastic. When is the next one being released?
At the end of January.
Fantastic. Well, you'll
So
have to
a
be
few
back
more
on the
months to
show
go.
so we can talk about it. Now, can you tell me a little bit about Hollow Read? I'm so thrilled. I have here a T-shirt from Hollow Read. I wish I can get down to Maryland at the end of October 25th and 26th. Is that when it is?
Yes, it is. Yes. Yeah, we're going to have to get you down there one year for
Absolutely.
this. For sure.
So tell us all about Hollow Read. I know we have, Bobby, do we have a slide for Hollow Read with the dates and all?
Yes, we do.
Thank you.
So Hollow Read is a labor of love. It was a crazy idea I had one day because I always had an hour-long commute to the day job. And so I was driving to work and just thought, wouldn't it be cool if there was a book convention that was focused more on kind of these niche genres. I mean, there's plenty of book conventions, and they're all fantastic, especially the romance ones. But I thought it would be fun to kind of have a little mashup of all these little genres that fall under the bigger umbrellas. So, we've got the steampunk and we've got some sci-fi, and we've got thrillers and mysteries and paranormal cozies and, the whole bit. So urban fantasy, it's all there. And I went to Ellicott City because that's where my day job was. And I, talked to some of the people in the town. I said, I've got this ridiculous idea. What do you think if we throw a book convention down here? And everybody loved it. And so we had 4 months to put the first one together, and managed to scrounge up a bunch of authors who said, you know what, I'll give this a whirl, sight unseen. We didn't know how many tickets we were going to be able to sell, or, who would even be interested in it. And here we are 7 years later.
7 years?
This is our 7th year.
Wow. Now, unfortunately, you do not work in Ellicott City anymore.
No, I do not.
How's that
would be
working
a
out
much
for
longer
you?
Commute than I've ever done. So yeah, we just moved halfway across the country over the summer. So we had, everything was already in the works, already lined up. We had already had tickets sold for this year's convention. So it was full steam ahead. Whether I was still in Ellicott City, Maryland, or if I was, all the way out here in Tennessee, it didn't matter. It was all a go.
Wow. Well, how many people come to this? Well, you don't know this year yet, do you? Or
we don't have our final numbers in. We're still selling tickets. We sell them right up until, for Saturday, we can sell them right up until the book signing. So we try to do it a la carte, so everybody can kind of pick and choose the things they want to participate. Workshops are on Friday, so that's more craft oriented. And some people like to come just for the workshops. Saturday, we do all of our, more interactive panels, kind of like what you would see at like a Comic-Con.
Gotcha.
And then we have a book signing. We've included a haunted house that's been part of our, to kind of tie in that Halloween and horror theme. We've had a haunted house since year 2. So we love being able to tie that in, and we do that Saturday night. So people can kind of pick and choose how much they want to participate, and it gives people a budget flexibility too, because it can get expensive with traveling in, and if you have to stay overnight, or so really like to be able to give everyone that kind of a la carte experience. But we average about between 100 and 150 attendees, so we're more boutique, but also because we're in that kind of smaller community, and we always have a keynote, and then 30 to 35 authors that we feature on the panels and in the signing room as well.
I am definitely going to have to get to this next year.
Yeah, I love that it's more intimate. So I've done both. With Hollow Read, I kept it more intimate, was with a smaller head count. But I've participated in the bigger conventions at New York Comic-Con and paneled at C2E2 out in Chicago, and they're amazing experiences, and you feel like you've really found your people, but on a massive scale. But you don't get that time because it's so fast-paced at these bigger cons. You're navigating this massive ocean of people. So in that boutique setting, you really get to have that one-on-one interaction with your writing peers, and then as well as readers who come. And so I find that it's really energizing. So, and we've built a pretty good tribe of, we've got our repeat offenders who are, authors that come back every year, and then attendees who come back every year too. So it's been pretty amazing.
Fantastic. And you're still selling tickets, you said. So if our viewers go to hollowread.com, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Hollow Read, and I have a T-shirt. I got a cool bag filled with some Halloween swag in here. And
yeah, everybody gets a swag bag. So it's
a swag bag,
with all
very
kinds of
exciting. So hollowread.com. Now tell us where our viewers can find you and other books by you.
So they can find me on my website, which is rachelrawlings.com. But the books are sold everywhere. My original series, the Mara Kincaid series, is published wide.
Yes.
So anywhere that books are sold, they can get those. The Touch of Ink series is in Kindle Unlimited right now.
Okay.
And then I do have a couple of other books that are just rolling through that Kindle Unlimited process before they go back out wide.
Now, let me ask you a question, because we're going to be discussing book marketing in general, too. How are you finding Kindle Unlimited? Is that a good place for you in your genre?
Kindle Unlimited, it is for paranormal romance and urban fantasy. They actually do very well on Kindle Unlimited. But it is interesting. It has an interesting dynamic with the way that the algorithms are. It's great initial visibility, so you can rise up really quick, but you also can fall off that cliff equally as fast. So there's that whole process of figuring out what works with ads and, stacking your ads over your release week so you can try to hit a spot where you're sticky in their algorithms. And that is a little bit harder to do, I think, now more so than it used to be. So it's just kind of hedging your bets between Facebook ads and Amazon ads and all the different newsletter sites that are available out there. Book Rebel is one that I love. They've always provided really good results. And it's a much better price point, too, than some of the other advertising sites that are out there. And you always get a return on your investment. But Wide you're playing the long game.
Right.
So, it takes a little longer to build your audience on Apple and Kobo and, even on Barnes and Nobles, which is interesting to see what's happened with the transition. That one still, I think, is a little bit in play with, are they going to take a bigger piece of the market share back? So I think they're still kind of working on that with the transitions that they've had over the last 6 months, but probably even longer than that, maybe 18 to 24 months.
Right, exactly.
But, you really are playing the long game there.
Yeah.
But it can pay off, really pay off. So, with my Wide series, with doing very little marketing, just because we've had an interesting couple of years between Ellicott City, where Hollerita is, and where I worked, we had pretty devastating flash floods there. That presented an interesting 2 years, and then our cross-country move. So I hadn't put as much into that as I normally would have, and it still generates revenue with me not doing anything. So
that's fantastic.
Once you get that, once you're building that audience, it can really pay off.
Right. Great tips for our authors out there to think about.
That's what our workshops are. So you come to Hollow Read.
All right. You hear that? Go to hollowread.com. And I wish I was free October 25th to the 26th. But get down there so you could learn more about authors and marketing your book and all sorts of fabulous things. And it's a great way to ring in Halloween.
Yes.
Rachel, thank you so much. And listen, do me a favor. Make sure you get back on here with the next book, okay?
I definitely will. Thank you so much for
It was a
having me, Stephanie.
pleasure.
It was fantastic.
Thanks. Nice seeing you.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye. And we're going to hear
Bye.
from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Are you interested in writing, but you're unsure how to get started? Or perhaps you're already an author, but want to hone your skills and receive supportive yet constructive feedback? Welcome to WebWritersRetreat.com. Developed to help once and future authors like you to gain from positive and supportive criticism of your submissions from other writers and our professional staff, push forward through personal timetables and writing exercise sessions. Sharpen your skills through group coaching and Q&A sessions with literary experts. Receive practical resources such as templates, downloads, links, online courses, and free ebooks. Benefit from book reviews and opportunities to join a beta team to enrich yourself as well as other authors. Save with special discounts for publishing services and online courses, social media, and email marketing, and a whole lot more. Visit WebWritersRetreat.com and turn your writing dreams into reality.
The sun is getting warmer, but when we soar away among the clouds, the sky is just a border, but when we're floating up like helium.
Welcome back to Between the Covers. Thanks for joining us. I'm so excited to have a repeat guest and friend, Mike O'Keefe, who's the author of 13 stories, Fractured, Twisted, and Put Away Wet. Love the subtitle.
Yeah.
And I especially am in love with the cover.
Well, the cover is actually my original illustration.
Wow.
I'm very proud of that. I hadn't drawn in probably 30 years since art school. And,
So you could write and you can draw. He could write fiction and he could draw.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Everything that I want to do in life, it's sitting right there. So what inspired from the last time you were on in novel length to short stories?
Well, I'm still working as a novelist. I have a new novel coming out.
Yeah, I heard every 6
And
months.
Well, I'm going to try and push them out
I
in 6 months.
know.
But in the meantime, people were asking me. I was playing I was waiting for Prince Charming to come rescue me from the dragon. Querying agents in traditional publishing, and which is a very frustrating endeavor, particularly when you have completed manuscripts.
Yeah.
And people are reaching out to me like, "When's your next book coming out? When's your next book coming out?" I also write short fiction, and I actually had 16 prize-winning stories.
Oh.
But I like the title 13.
Oh.
So I cut 3.
So 3 had to be cut just for the
Yeah,
title.
just for for what 13 suggests.
I get that.
And really, I just put it all together because I want to keep my identity out there. I want readers to know that I'm still cranking work out. And the reception's been very good, very positive. It's different for me because whereas with novels I write thrillers, police thrillers,
Right.
this is, I take a tour of the genres with this.
Yes.
There's,
Yes.
people have compared the very short stories to O. Henry with the
Mm-hmm.
surprise endings and the plot twists, and there's a karmic thread running through everything. You get what's coming.
You do. That was definitely when I was reading through them.
Yeah.
It's like, be nice to everyone because you're going to get what's coming to
You
you.
get it. Your turn's coming in the barrel.
That was the one who he got cut off in line at the grocery store.
Yeah.
I won't go to tell you, but yeah, I was feeling good about that story.
Well, yeah. Well, the great thing about that is karma works two ways.
It
This is a
does.
guy that needed a break and got it.
Right,
And,
right.
No,
that was probably my favorite, just because we've all been there in line in the grocery store and someone cuts you off or something.
Right, right.
So I really identified with it. I've never had what happened to your protagonist happen to me next.
I don't think anybody's ever had that happen, but it's something that you've seen in sitcoms and you've
Yeah,
read about.
exactly,
So,
exactly.
It's
like-
almost like an institutional, like we all know about
It's
it.
like what we want to
but it's never happened.
It's never happened.
What a tease.
Oh yeah, no, you like this? We're doing this. We're doing this
yeah,
by the book. It's a great book, but that was I have to admit, as I mentioned, as a person who reads a lot, I did love. Oh, one of my books this week, short stories.
Yeah.
There you go.
It definitely is good for this. Everybody is so busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind
I
of
have a quick
thing.
question. Was it hard to cut out the other 3 stories? To figure out which ones you wanted in there?
No, actually, what I did is I cut out some of the longer ones. For the
Because he
simple
knows that
reason
nobody has an attention
Yeah,
span.
exactly.
Because another number that scares people is 6. So if I cut 6 long ones out or
Right.
write
Oh, then they can go
3
into another
more,
book?
Yeah.
they can go into a book with 6 in the title.
Ah.
Or
Well-
perhaps 3 6s. Or 6 superimposed on 6 on the word 6.
Well, I certainly love the idea of keeping you out there with more and more books. I know you're incredibly prolific and have material. And, certainly there's the waiting for your agent to arrive on a white horse kind of a syndrome. But I love you getting the stuff out there because people are waiting and people are wanting. And we don't want to fall off the radar just because we're waiting for the white horse.
Yeah, no, I'm not waiting for the white horse anymore.
Yeah.
I am the white horse. and
You
I'm
are.
riding it.
Ooh, I like
That's
that.
right. You are your own white horse, man. Hey, this is the package. I mean, that's a prince on a white horse if I've ever seen one.
Oh,
so
stop.
I love that. I love it. So tell me, you admitted that my favorite story is not true. Are any of these true?
There's elements of truth in all of them.
Yeah.
But with respect to the famous Millions Shopper, that's urban myth. I
Right, right,
suppose.
right. But some of the ones that kind of little mafia hint, things like that.
One of the first stories, Tick Tick Boom.
Yeah.
It's based. It's a little autobiographical, actually.
Ooh.
There
I
are
wasn't gonna
other
ask that.
there are other stories. They're crime stories, but interestingly enough, they're told from the criminal's perspective, based upon people I knew growing
Wow.
up. I mean, I grew up in a tough neighborhood, and not everybody was on the same side of the law. So yeah, I'll tell their stories.
I love
They're
that.
interesting.
Absolutely, I love that. So your next book, give us a title and a date so we know to look for it. You will be back on the couch, but at
I
least
will be back
so
on
at
the
least so we could
couch.
pre-order.
Yes, you can actually pre-order the Kindle version right now.
Ooh.
It's called A Reckoning in Brooklyn,
Okay.
and it's actually a prequel to Shot to Pieces,
Okay.
1979 Bushwick story. Someone described it as a mafia odor. I'm like, okay, cool. I can live with that.
Yeah.
It's also a detective novel, but it's a different era of detectives. I was a detective for 24 and a half years, but not in the 70s.
Right. That was a different world.
Yes, the character, if there's a character in it that does represent me, it would be Patty Durr, and he appears as a 17-year-old in this book.
Nice.
So it gives us a little.
So when I read it, I'll see you as a 17-year-old?
I guess.
Yeah.
Long hair, earrings. Yeah, that was me.
It's all right there, huh?
Yeah. So.
All right, so that's available on pre-order
On Amazon, yeah, on
Okay.
Amazon, and I'll be releasing it fully December 1st. And,
Just in time for holiday shopping.
Yeah, exactly.
Love
Makes
that.
a great gift.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to be, I'll be doing some deals with respect to, I'll be lowering the price of my other books, and as a matter of fact, the newsletter will be out Friday. If anybody pre-orders A Reckoning in Brooklyn now, I'm going to send you the free digital copy of my short novella, Not Buried Deep Enough.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Yeah, it's a good story. That's very autobiographical.
Ooh, now I definitely want the free digital copy of the novella.
All you got to do
myself.
is
I'll
just gotta
pre-order the other book. Okay.
And,
so you go to the website michaelo'keefeauthor.com.
You can link to my
And that's
my
where they'd sign
Amazon
up for-
page.
right, but that's where they would sign up for your newsletter.
My newsletter, you would you just sign up at michaelo'keefeauthor.com.
Okay, and I think we
And,
have that on your slide. We put the link there.
Okay, cool. And I can't even keep track of it. I'm giving so many freebies away. So just sign up, and
Sign
if you
up
hit
and
it right,
they'll
you'll get all
accidentally
sorts
give you
of free
free
stuff.
stuff.
I just give it away.
Yeah, he's not even sure what day you're going to get what free thing. Just sign up.
Yeah.
You too could be like, Karma and walk into tons and tons of free stuff.
Well, hopefully my largesse pays off. So,
Well, certainly we love reading these books.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm going to keep writing them.
So michaelo'keefeauthor.com. Check out 13 Stories, just in time for Halloween. Check out the new book, which you can pre-order, and then your book will arrive on December 1st, just in time for holiday shopping. And if you sign up for the newsletter, you'll get some free stuff. I love free. We'll be back in just a minute with Carol Honig, author. Thanks so much. Welcome back to Between the Covers. On a totally different note.
Totally.
Totally different note.
Absolutely.
Well, it was very funny because, we always title our episodes. And my assistant Denise in the office was titling this for me, and she said, I called it, An Evening of Darkness or something,
right.
thinking of your book and Rachel's. And she said, and I read the description of that Carol book, and that didn't sound too pleasant either. It definitely wasn't like paranormal romance,
no, not at
urban
all.
fiction. It wasn't, twisted and deep, but it definitely was not lighthearted. So
No,
even
no.
my assistant said, didn't read the book, but didn't look so happy.
No. It was definitely a family drama.
Yeah.
Drama being the key word.
Definite family drama, and between the Vietnam War and the oppressive Christian cultish.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It was. The characters. I know them very well.
Oh.
Let's just say.
We'll just leave it at that.
Yes. Absolutely.
Oh wow.
Yeah. That was the first book I wrote, and unlike you with 6 months, that took me 17 years.
Longer than Margaret Mitchell and Gone with the Wind.
I mean, and naturally, it was in between. I was writing my second novel, then I'd go back to that one.
Right. So you
But-
started this first,
Yes.
and then stuck it in a drawer.
Yes.
Because you couldn't finish it, or because
No,
it wasn't ready, or
as far as I was concerned, it wasn't ready.
okay.
And I didn't. I'm like, okay, I had this one. It took me a month and a half to write the first draft.
Oh,
So,
so you
yeah.
wrote this in 6 weeks?
Yes.
And 17 years.
Right, exactly. The first draft, and it was. I thought it was really a very wordy outline.
Okay.
Then I was like, I got to know the characters better, and the story started to show itself. And my kids, I remember, like at dinner time, I'd go downstairs and I'd be like, "You're not going to believe what this character did," and they look at me. I know you
want to write fiction
because it's exciting to me, and I'm sure you can relate to that. When all of a sudden they do something like, I did not see that coming.
I'm dying for that. You know
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Who did something different than you expected?
Um,
Because I only know what they did.
Yeah, right.
don't
I
know.
would say it's been so long since I rarely.
Do I need to remind you what the book is about?
No. I would say that Eric, Pastor Eric.
Really?
Yeah, I liked him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I liked him right at the outset. He seemed to get her.
Yes, exactly.
Like, almost an apologetic, like.
Yes, they
you know.
they had the same journey with the same abusive mother.
Yeah, and even though he was the religious holy roller too, but
Right.
he seemed to have a soft.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
that was important to me because I did not want to slam any particular faith or anything,
Right.
but I did want to show the the
Extremism,
quote,
too.
Yes, and the quote in the front of the book is "Compassion cures more sins than condemnation," and that was Henry Ward Beecher, whose quote that is, whose sister was Harriet Ward Beecher. And I loved that quote, and that was important to me because I felt like a lot of people that I was involved with in my younger days didn't understand the compassion part.
Yes.
They just knew the condemnation, and that was a struggle for me.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
I can well only imagine.
Yeah.
Oh, see, now I'm running back through my mind thinking, what did you think Pastor Eric was going to do?
Well, yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. I wasn't even sure what he was going to do in the beginning.
Can't imagine
Yeah.
starting a book without knowing what they were going to do.
And even the dialogue, like there's a scene where he comes to her, and I don't want to give anything too major away, but the dialogue, I just let them talk through me, and I'm just writing, and I'm just letting them talk. And sometimes I put the break, and I'm like, nope, they didn't say that, but, and then they, keep talking.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So 6 weeks for a rough draft. 17 years later, you open the drawer, dusted it off. What were you moving? You suddenly found this.
No, what? Oh, I know. It was a publisher read Without Grace, my first novel. And she said, what do you have? What are you working on now? I said, well, I'm not. I was working on something, but it was very, very early in stage. I said, but I do have this novel. And so I sent it to her. She goes, I want to publish this.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay, thank you.
Wow,
Yeah,
good for
yeah.
you. Well, I can understand her wanting a second after Without Grace. I mean,
well,
I
thank you.
loved Without Grace,
Thank
you know that.
you. I
But this was so
appreciate
different.
Yes.
Very, very different, but she took it.
Yeah, she did. I was genuinely surprised because I was like, that's what. It's always a caveat like when I tell people, like, well, without grace, you know, it's, and then there's a little faith.
Yeah, you know,
have
it
to-
is.
It can be offensive to some people.
Yeah, no, I can
But,
understand that.
you know,
I can understand
and-
that. So
and-
this was started first but finished second.
Yes. Well, I think it was finished. You know, when she edited it, she didn't have to do much editing at all.
Right, right.
Which was pretty cool.
But certainly published second.
Yes, published second. That's right.
It was
Exactly.
just waiting. It was like a fine wine.
Speaking of which, you have to have a
Exactly.
sip, yeah.
It was just like a fine wine waiting for its time.
Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah, and the title, we were talking, and you were talking about titles, we were talking about titles, and I struggled with titles without grace, because that initially was going to be Place of Angels, because the town where it takes place is a very real town where I grew up, was called Cherubusco. That means Place of Angels. But there were so many books at that time coming out with angels in the title.
Right.
And I did have an agent for Without Grace.
Right.
And that, I'm going to go there with that. But we came up with, she goes, we need a new title. And Without Grace came up. And then that title, I think I never really changed it. I think I
Oh, this was the title from the outset?
I think so. I'm trying to remember. I'm pretty sure it was.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and the title for my third novel, that's basically sitting in the drawer. That one I'm still struggling with the title. And then the prequel to Without Grace, it's just called Grace for now, because I don't know what else to call it.
So there's another novel in your drawer that we're
Yeah.
gonna. And when is that coming out?
Don't know. I had an agent for that one. I know. I had an agent, and you know, lovely, lovely rejections from the bigwigs. But you know. They just we don't know how to place it. We don't know what, you know. We love the writing. Blah 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 blah.
Blah, blah.
Yeah,
Blah, blah.
You can relate, but yeah.
So you got as far as an agent.
Yeah, 2. No, actually 3.
Three
Yeah.
agents for the same book.
2 different books.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So there's the newest novel, and then you said there's a prequel. So there's 2 books in your drawer.
Well, the prequel I'm like 100 pages in, but you
Okay.
know, I've been doing ghostwriting and you know, so that's been taking my time. So by the time evening comes, I'm like, I'm fried. So
Right.
so my books are sort of getting kicked to the curb until there's time. But then again, if there's time, that means I'm not working with clients. So that's not good either. So
I know, I get that.
You
know,
understand
do have
what
to
I'm
pay
saying.
bills, and there's that. But
Yeah. Oh, it'll happen. I don't worry about it, because I feel it's going to happen when it's ready to happen.
Right. Now, since you delved into it a little bit, and I would love to talk to the 2 of you about book marketing
Yes.
in general, and you're both on very different kind of paths, so you could speak ill of your own path very nicely.
I am. I'm a whore.
Yeah.
You did say it. I'm
I did say it. I said
On
it.
the commercial, he said he was a whore, and now he admits it.
I will go to the opening of an envelope if I think I can sell a book.
I love that. And it's true. I just said during the commercial, I cannot open my Facebook feed without seeing Michael's face holding a book. Like every time I touch Facebook, it's there. There's Michael. He's holding a book. He's signing a book. What do you do? 6 events a day? I mean,
Well, actually, I've been very, very busy over the summer, and it's going to continue probably until November.
wow. I mean,
Um,
and when I see that, all I do is say to myself, I need to be Mike O'Keefe, man.
No, you don't, because
He
it's
is
exhausting.
everywhere.
Next Wednesday evening, I'm going to be at the Chappaqua Library for a discussion panel discussing forensics in writing crime.
Okay.
Oh,
Which
that's
obviously,
cool.
given my profession, I have a lot of expertise in.
Right.
But it's Chappaqua. If I sell 6 books, I maybe get my gas money
I was
back.
going to say, you got the toll,
But the
too.
point being is now librarians know me around the
Right.
state.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of this is working yet,
And, you know,
but I'm getting
sometimes-
contacted by
Yeah.
libraries, so I imagine it is.
And sometimes it's exponential. You
We
know,
hope, yeah.
that
Exactly. I
It
was just
really
gonna say
does
that.
build one thing, and you feel like, I mean, isn't it darkest before the dawn?
Mm-hmm.
And there's that story about the people who were digging for gold, and they were like 2 feet away, and they stopped.
Yes.
I don't want to be that guy.
Exactly, and
No.
you're not, because
No.
you go to the opening of an envelope.
Yeah,
You are
exactly.
not
Yeah,
missing
there you
it.
go.
You know, when I was doing events at Borders before I was even had my own bookstore, I had a big name. Actually, he was a musician, and he was going to be signing Christmas CDs at the Borders Books in the city in Manhattan. And he kept sending his handlers over because he was staying at Trump Tower, and he kept sending his people over to see how long the line was, and the line wasn't very long, and so he ended up canceling the event.
No.
Saying that he was stuck on the LIE. It was a bogus story, but all I kept thinking was, how dare you? Those 10 people that were on that line deserved his attention. And that was a lesson to me, because I wasn't even a published author yet, but I told myself, if 2 people show up to my event, they're going to get the same thing if 20, 30 people show up to my event.
And
So
you
I
know,
think
sometimes
you're
you don't know
doing
who
it right
those
that
2
way.
people are.
Exactly.
Either.
Exactly.
You know, no, I think he's doing absolutely the
He
right thing.
absolutely is.
You know, and show up, even if it's Chappaqua.
Right.
Well, Chappaqua is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm getting tired of going over that bridge.
Yeah, I know, I get that.
Yeah, I was up in, the week before, I was up in Elmsford. Also the top of Westchester.
Yeah. You're like I'm telling you.
Well, I worked with a lot of cops early in my career that are from upstate Orange County, Westchester County, Putnam County.
Right.
And they were all complaining, when are you coming over the bridge to do an event upstate? So I booked like 4 of them.
That's great.
You should have booked them all like within the same 2 days and stayed at somebody's house. You can save money on the toll at least.
Yeah,
You got to sell an extra 4 books just to pay for the
there you
toll.
go. There you go.
Yeah.
But no, all the events are good. Everybody's interested to come.
People are
so-
loving the book. They're loving you. They
Well,
want
you're
more.
personable too, and I think that helps a lot. Like don't let this make your head big or anything.
Oh, I know. We're really
But,
swelling.
Oh,
you know,
no, my wife will deflate my head
Oh,
for
good.
that.
I know your wife. so
She'll
that
take
would
care
be-
of it when I get home.
No. But I think that helps when
Yeah.
you connect with your readers.
But I think connecting really does help. I mean, you announced, and now that you announced it on the show, you have to do it. The book every 6 months.
Right, yeah, that's
I mean,
true.
You said it
That's
on
true.
TV. You have to
I
do
think
it.
you should schedule him tonight for 6 months.
I
from
should
now.
totally do that, and then just boom and boom and boom, and here you are. And we're going to pinprick and sign it in blood. We're going to do the whole thing.
A Reckoning in Brooklyn is the next novel. I'll tell you right now. The
Great title.
novel after that is Burnt to a Crisp.
Oh, that one's creepy.
Ooh. Now then we have to get Carol to get those 2 damn manuscripts out of her drawer.
I know.
I mean, really? We're sitting here like.
We'll name them like children. And then they live.
Well, it's so
mean,
funny because when I
really.
did the other event with you one time, and you were like, "Wait, what's this other book?"
Oh yeah, I was telling Mike about that. I didn't even know.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I want to go back to another event and have you shock me with a book.
Okay.
I love that. I love to walk into an event and you're like, really? There's another book? I want that to happen. Carol, give me that other book.
I think I was a little distracted for the last 4 years. There's something
I
going
totally
on
get
in my
that.
life,
I
you
totally
know?
get that. But now,
Yes.
Now,
Yeah.
dust off that manuscript. We should
Yes.
all, as I said, we're
Yes.
going to pinprick and promise that we're going to get. You got fans out there, folks.
No, it's true. It's true.
And those fans want to hear from you. I think
It's true.
that's fabulous. And like you said, whether it's 2 or 200, go
Yeah.
meet your fans.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to be right back. And if you're a fan, get right back with us after this commercial. Thanks. Welcome back to Between the Covers. I'm so glad you joined us. I forgot to mention, and I don't know how I forgot with a car full of books, that if you have any books at home that you have finished reading, because you are an avid reader, just like our guests here, to please consider the Book Fairies. The Book Fairies collect over 50,000 books every single month. Children's books, adult books, test prep, all sorts of books. They're collecting, and the books are going out to school districts here on Long Island. They're going to adult homes, prisons, penitentiaries, and they're also going overseas to over 50 different libraries in Africa. My trunk is at the moment filled with books because I'm so fortunate that every place I go, people give me books for the Book Fairies. If you bring books here on a Wednesday night when we're filming, you get a free glass of wine. So please remember thebookfairies.org. I do want to remind you of where you can find all of our authors. Rachel Rawlings, author of Ink It Over, and her fun event, Hollow Read. If you happen to be available the weekend of October 26th, 27th, down in Maryland, hollowread.com, and you can register. And please check out author Rachel Rawlings, and she's got a new book coming out. You got to read book 1 so that you're all ready for book 2. And Mike, where can we find you besides on my Facebook feed?
You can actually, if you go on my website, michaelo'keefeauthor.com, I have a link to my page on Amazon, and all of my books are there.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic.
So you
And
can
then
do
we heard that
one-stop
you get all
shopping.
sorts of free stuff.
All sorts of free stuff if you sign up for the newsletter.
Yeah, look at that. I love free stuff. So his latest book, 13 Stories, his previous books, the new book is available for pre-order and free stuff. What could be better? And Carol, I know carolhonig.com.
You got it. Yep, absolutely.
And that's for your books, but also for your tireless work at promoting authors.
Right, absolutely. I keep busy with promoting authors and editing their work and doing publicity. And as you well know, I've been blogging a little bit more than I have been in the past.
I don't know if
And,
you'll kill me if I say if you're looking for the most fantastic editor, please go to carolhonig.com.
I won't kill you. No,
okay.
not at all.
Please, no, I wasn't sure if you're like, I've got 35 projects.
No, I have a number of projects, but it's funny how they come in, because when I think things are getting a little slow, I put that out in the universe, and all of a sudden somebody will email me. Somebody that I edited like several years ago just contacted me. They said, I want you back.
All right.
And I was like, yay.
All right, carolhonig.com for editing, ghostwriting, all sorts
Publicity,
of publicity and such.
Yep.
Don't forget that. And she's now blogging again, which I'm thrilled.
Yeah, in my spare time.
In her spare time. There is no spare time.
Yeah.
And if you forget everything else that I said, betweenthecoverstv.com, I have links to all of their things. And if you have any other events, please, we'll push them out on our own social media feeds and such.
Absolutely.
I'll just keep hitting share every time I see this handsome face on my thing every day. Thanks for joining us. And
Thank you, Stephanie. This was